Hello guys, what's good? Welcome to the channel. I am Beats by Manuel. In today's tutorial we're gonna be mixing FS Studio, more like breaking down the mix. Okay, so let's not rush things. Before we start the video, please do me a favor, like this video, comment to the video, and firstly subscribe to the channel because I have more interesting videos lined up for you. Alright, so without wasting much time, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So I'm gonna open up FS Studio right now. So it's a cover of a song. It's sung by V triple E C. Alright, so just gonna load up. By the way, V is an amazing artist. Okay, I'm gonna link his details down in the comment section in case you need to check him out. You need to check him out actually. You're gonna love his songs, you're gonna love his videos, okay? And project is fully loaded. So one thing I wanna do first of all is to mute that. It's called Crado the God Particle. It's a good, very nice mastering plugin. It's actually what gave this actual mix the whole character it has. So yeah, but it also comes into a lot more CPU power, so I'm just gonna play without it. Then at the end of the video I'm just gonna play what it sounds like with the chord particle.
I know they agree to go. I chase my dream, yeah. And I believe, say one day you go be, na Papa, God will be my helper. Until then, play my song for radio, yeah, my jam for TV, me I no go give up. Until then, play my song for radio. Watch myself for TV, me I don't go give up.
So as you can hear, that is what the mix is actually sounding like. I'm gonna treat the FX sense first, and what we have here is vocal spread, like stereo enhancement of my vocal. That's what VS stands for. And delay, that's what I'm going to be working on first. So the delay, I'm using H delay stereo. I have it on ping pong mode, and I've already set the parameters already, and then analog is off. I have a limiter that I've sidechained to my actual voice track. What it's doing is it just ducks down the delay when my vocal is active. Then when my vocal is not active, it just comes up just like at the end of it, a tail kind of stuff. Yeah, that's what we have there. And for the stereo enhancement, I have fruity stereo enhancer going on down here. I'm using the 4 strings preset, and I have doubler going on, and I'm using the doubler 4 voices preset, and this is what it looks like. I don't know how to call figures, guys, please bear with me. You can, I'm just gonna leave it on the screen for a while so you can just copy if you want to copy. Yeah, the first plugin we have here is Seagate Stereo. Alright, so what Seagate Stereo is doing right now is basically as a fader. Okay, so I have the attack at 1000. Is that 10,000? I think it's 1000. I'm just gonna show you what that is doing. Alright, so I'm gonna play.
Yeah. Me I know they agree, and I believe, say one day you go be, na Papa, God will be my help.
So once I disengage it and engage it again, you notice that the vocal just came up. So that's what it's doing, smooth, so fader kind of effect. So I have a compressor going on down here. Now what this compressor is doing is just subtle, because if I open this up, you can see that my vocals they're not so much dynamic, they're just kind of, so I'm just kind of putting it in a space, all right, just a particular place for it to just shine. All right, so I took out a lot, so I just added with 8 dB of gain. All right, Next is auto-tune. And what this auto-tune is doing is simple. I have resume speed at 5. I've already set my input key and scale, and tracking is 30. Humanize is 100. So what I've done to make this auto-tune different for what you would want to do is I've used this format feature. Alright. Now what this does is to smoothen your vocal a little bit. Alright. Just maybe just okay, let me just show you. Let me show you what this is doing. So I'm gonna play.
And I believe say one day you go be not baba. God be my helper until them play my song for radio.
So the vocal is normal, but once I add the format, it just fine tunes it a little bit. Just but don't go too much with it. Alright, it's just most artists would not want this on their vocal. They probably want their natural vocal sounding, and it's cool. But it's a feature that in auto-tune that you want to use, and I used it and it sounded great. So yeah, if I didn't show you this that I did that, you wouldn't necessarily know, but you just love the sound. Alright, so that's what it is. And I have a parametric EQ, with roll off, and I fixed frequencies that were bothering my vocals. I also took out the high end a little bit, and that's it for this EQ. I have another EQ. So what I've done with this EQ is basically simple. Okay, so I did roll off again. I don't know why I did so many roll off. Please forgive me. I don't know. So what I've done with this is this particular place I am highlighting right now. What I did was roll off from the low end, mid, and just a little bit of the high mid. So I took out about 3 dB, alright, of those frequencies. And there's this texture I love in my vocal, and this trick might not work in your vocal, but it worked in this vocal. I know how to use it. It works for me most of the times. Not really every time, but it works for me most of the times. Now I have another EQ. What I'm doing with this EQ is I am like boosting this high mid presence. Alright, so this is just adding a little bit presence, a character to my vocal, just making it stand out in the whole track and the whole mix. Alright, that is what that is doing. So I have a DSR going on here just immediately after that. So what I'm doing with this DSR is simple. It's just I'm using the male DSR2 preset, and I'm leaving it like that, nothing much. So I don't want this video to be long, so I'm just calling out what I've done. I have reverb, so it's more like a pure reverb. I have my weight at 8%. The high cut is pretty much now. So these are the settings, and the decay is about 1.5 seconds, and this is pretty much the settings. If you want to, what I'm practically showing you is the process that I have taken to mix this track. Alright, this process might not work for you. Alright, so I'm just showing you what I've done. So next we have Valhalla Vintage Verb. Everything is pretty much the same. So what I've done is I just took out low cut, took out the high cut, and mix is about 20%. Everything is pretty much the same. So what I had to do was just to reduce the mix level to 9. Okay, that's pretty much what is there. So this is the boss, and this is where the magic actually happened. Okay, so now I have a parametric EQ, and I'm using I'm using the vocal presence, and that's all for the EQ, and VHM is rack. So this is I'm using the present vocal preset also. I love the preset. I love using preset. Alright, I just throw them in and adjust to what I like. So now what I've done with this revival, remember all the low cut that I had and rolling off and all that mid and stuff like that. This is making up for those. Then what I'm doing with FabFilter multiband is DSM. I use the DSM enhance and preset, and I just drop this down. Alright, because like I said, this vocal was really bright. I have suit going on after that. Depth is about 3.0. You know what suit is actually it does a lot of things too, but what I'm using this is taking out harshness from my vocal. That's what I'm doing with this. Alright, it's pretty much all that. Next is another DSR. I'm still using the male DSR 2 preset, and that's all. Now this is where the magic happens. Alright, so I'm gonna mute these two plugins. So I'm just gonna play and activate those so you know what it's doing. Alright, go So let me play.
And I believe say one day you go be na baba God will be my helper until them play
So what that is doing is simple. Alright, the first stereo enhancer is keeping my vocal in the middle and just a little bit on the sides. Okay, so what this second stereo enhancer is doing is taking my vocal all the way to the sides, because that's what it's doing. But I had to reduce it to about 60% so that the vocal doesn't get lost. Alright, if I take it all the way up,
and I believe say one day you go be
so I didn't want that, so I'm just gonna leave it at 60. Everybody has tricks they use in tackling issues in their vocal. There are things you would do to actually get results. It doesn't matter. Alright, so for you have a great result, I totally would agree with that. Okay, this is the way I'm mixing this vocal, so it might look weird to you, but does it sound weird to you? Maybe I don't know. So lastly, what I've done is added Fab Filter Saturn 2, and I'm using the color, and I'm using Worm Tube Bass. Great. So this is what the vocal is sounding like.
and I believe say one day you go be na baba God will be my helper until them play my song for radio.
Okay, that's pretty much the whole process. So okay, on the mastering I have L1 Ultra Maximizer. So what I'm using is the mastering preset, and I left it like that. Alright, so time for the Cardo, the chord particle. I'm going, oh wow, just give me a minute. So we're done with the video, guys. That's practically everything that I've done to make that vocal sound the way it sounds. But now I can actually play with the chord particle on in FL Studio because my PC clearly cannot handle it. So what I'm gonna do is to play the actual so what you're hearing right now is the finished product with I didn't do any other thing. Alright, I promise. This what you're hearing is just the chord particle added to the vocal. Alright, to the whole mix, like the master of the whole mix. It's just that's what you're hearing, nothing added. Alright.
Me I no degree, I no degree to go. I chase my dream, yeah, and I believe, say one day you go be, na papa, God will be my helper, until them play my song for radio, yeah my jam for TV, me I no go give up, until them play my song for radio, watch myself for TV, me I no go give up.
So that is what the vocal is sounding with the chord particle on. It's saying, alright, it's amazing. Alright, so thanks for watching this video, guys, and I hope it helps you in your mix. If you loved it, please subscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs up. If you don't, it's okay, and also comment on the video. Alright, so I will see you in the next video. I have a lot of things lined up for you guys, so I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye for now.